What's going on, good people? What is going on? So we got another Polaris Sportsman 500. Another non-running vehicle here. So this one was supposed to be a parts four-wheeler for the other Sportsman that we found out the engine's not locked up. Well, it was locked up. We got it freed up. And we know it turns over, the starter don't work, but you can pull start it. So this one here, picked this one up. For some reason the guy started robbing parts off of it. He had took the front tires off of it. It didn't have no carburetor. And I don't know what his plans was with it, but this is just how we got it. There's no key switch. Well, it is a key switch, but as you see, it's been dug into. So my thing is, did we get this one running and it'll be a rider, or get this one running and it'll be a rider? Now this one is actually a 96. This one is a 03. This one's got a lot of ground clearance going on here. I don't know what the deal is with it. It's the 96 higher, sit up higher than the 03 model. But this one here, it needs basically everything. All the bushings are wore out, the bearings are wore out. I don't have any brakes on it. The plastics are all fadey. And, but I was told it ran, but I haven't tried to mess with it anymore ever since I got the engine freed up. And this one here, I don't know anything about it, but it's in way better shape. Just need the right tires on it and put back together. And I think this one's going to be the better one. I mean, all the bushings are tight, the axles are good. It is missing one side cover. It's been painted. I did notice that they rigged up some kind of shift rod. I don't know what they were doing with this here. I guess they rigged it on here like that because excuse me, it's supposed to have a rod like this one. So they rigged it up on there. It was unhooked. So I don't know anything about this one here other than that. Excuse me again. Whew, these sinuses. Other than it was parked and it was sitting on the ground when we got there. So what I'm going to do, I've already ordered a brand new carburetor that I was going to actually put on this joker here and get it fired up. I want to put the new carburetor on this one, see if we can get this one fired up and see what's actually wrong with it. It could be a good four-wheeler, I don't know. Me and a buddy of mine went in half and bought it because he has a 500 that we picked up too, and we was actually going to use this one for parts for both of ours, but I'm curious to see what's up with this one. So I'm going to put the battery, I went and robbed the battery out of something. I'm going to put a battery in it and see what it does. I know the pull starter is broke and they got it capped off. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get everything hooked up and get the new carburetor on it, and I'll try and get a gas bottle hooked to it, and let's see if we can get this one fired up. And if it runs better, well, I don't know if it runs better at all than this one. But if it runs good, we might just leave this one together and use this one as parts because it's got a lot going on over there. A lot. Whole lot. So, here we go. Okay, so it's finally that time to try and crank this thing. So I had to rig up a choke cable. I actually just used the old thumb throttle cable and just got it in the carburetor down there so I can operate the choke like this, because the choke cable's broke on this one and it's broke on that one. But I got 2 choke cables coming, but they won't be here for the next couple of days, probably about 2 days or so. But we got the throttle hooked up. This is a different thumb throttle that actually works. So the micro switch in there is letting the ECU know that it will fire and the throttle's not stuck. This is the old one. So I just got a gas bottle hooked up. I put a little gas in the gas tank, and I have the vacuum tube which comes off the pump right here. And it goes around and goes to the top of the carburetor. It's kind of hard to see in there. Right on top of the carburetor there's a hose. That's your vacuum that sucks through the pump and creates a vacuum inside of it to suck the gas, to push the gas, to the carburetor. And this is actually, the fuel filter is supposed to have another hose on there going here. But we got the gas bottle hooked up. So I'm gonna pour some gas in it. I need to take these off because these are breather tubes for the carburetor, vent tubes, I checked the oil, it's full of oil, clean oil. So hopefully this thing will fire up and run good. No knocks, ticks, or smoke. And move some stuff out of the way. Maybe this would be a good four-wheeler to put back in the trails. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some gas in it. Hopefully this cheap Amazon carburetor does right. Now this gas is mixed with a little of 2-stroke oil, so to kind of help lube the cylinder a little bit. So I'm just going to put just enough right now just to fire it up. Hopefully the needle and seat on this carburetor acts right. Let it fill up the bowl a little bit. Still having starter solenoid issues. It's going to be kind of hard to, guess I'll idle it up a little bit. Kind of hard to hold the choke and do it all, but I'm going to try and crank it without spraying it. Let's see what it does. There it goes. Look at that. Runs like brand new. A little rattle over there though. So I was doing some digging into this four-wheeler, and it had that rattling sound coming from the stator side, the pull cord side. So I pulled the flywheel off, and I found that the magnets on this flywheel are just loose. They have broke away from the flywheel itself, whatever glue they had holding it in, and it's actually 2 of them. This one's loose, but it's still stuck in there. It'll come out of there though. These 2 are glued pretty good. This one it's actually broke away. I don't know if you can see it moving there, but I'm wondering if that's what that rattling sound was. These magnets are just moving around as the flywheel goes around. Now this one here, this one's off another 500 parts bike I got but for some reason this one has more magnets and it's smaller in diameter. So I was going to put this flywheel here onto this stator that's on the four-wheeler, but it's too big. Crankshaft is the same, but if you look at these, this stator here off the other 500 is smaller. So I got two things I can do. I can take this stator off and put this stator on and put the smaller flywheel on, fire it up, see that the rattling sound go away, or I can just take the magnets out. This one's already out. Take this other broken magnet out, put the flywheel back on there, crank it up real quick, just see if the rattling stopped. If that noise went away, then we know for sure it's the flywheel. Now I don't know what the difference is with the other 500. It has the same style of, I'm guessing this is the ECU box, same harness, plugs, everything. They made so many of these, so many different styles of 500s in years, but it's got the same plugs and everything as this box here. It just got a smaller stator and flywheel for some reason. But I'm thinking, and if you're wondering how you get it off, if you got one of these harmonic balancer pullers, it comes with the different screws. You can just screw that on there, then take your impact or a ratchet, crank it in, because this pushes against the crankshaft. Crank it in, smack it with a hammer, and pop right off. But I did notice this one's got a FF95 and this one's got a FF97. But they're the same size diameter up here because they all use the same starter. But like I say, this one here, it's got more magnets. And these are glued in tight. Okay, so I put the flywheel on there without the magnets, and that didn't work. It wouldn't crank up. It's got to have the magnets in here so the stator can read those magnets to generate power for the firing and everything, and charging system. But all of them basically came out of there. So what I'm going to do, before I attempt to change the entire stator system, I'm going to use some of this clear well epoxy stuff from JB Weld, and I'm going to try and glue those magnets back in. Hopefully this stuff ain't bad. I'm just going to mix up all I got. I cleaned off the inside the flywheel good, and cleaned off the back of the magnets. So I'm going to try and glue these things back in there. And hopefully they'll stick, and won't have that problem, and that will solve our noise issue. This stuff says it sets in 5 minutes, so I've used it before. It works pretty good. So I'm just going to smear some. I could have used something plastic to do this with, because this is just sticking to the magnets, but worth a shot. Stick them back in there. Thing is, I gotta space them out like they're supposed to be. Either it's going to work or it's not going to work. This stuff dries up pretty good though. I've used it a bunch on different metals and plastics. As long as it dries up to hold these magnets in space in the place where they're supposed to be, it'll be all right. So they're in there, and I think they're spaced, from what I can tell, they're spaced pretty evenly. It's got a magnetic force that'll draw them back together. So I think it'll be all right. So what we'll do, we'll let this sit. All right, guys, here it is. So that was the problem. No more rattles. It was definitely between the magnets loose on back of the flywheel and that starter, that pull starter cover didn't have the bushing for the starter gear, and it was letting the starter gear jump around. There we go. There we go. So now I think I'm going to use this one for parts, and me and my buddy Travis, he's got a 500 Polaris that we picked up when we picked this one up. So we're probably going to use this one for parts, but I'm still going to start it anyway. I want to see, does it even run? And I'm going to put this bad boy together for me because it's in way better shape than this one. So I figured before I take the carburetor off of it, let's at least see would it go in gear. I hooked the shifter up. It seems to be in neutral. So let's see. So this would be high. Man, that's loud. No brakes, no brakes. Let's see, reverse. I don't hear any strange noises. This will be low. come out of that. Reverse. Seems to be working fine to me. Still making progress with the 500. Got the plastics on it. Got the front bumper back on it. Got headlights on it. Got the headlights working. We got the airbox all sealed up. Did some cleaning up and painted the side step. I got one on there now. The other one is still drying. This thing needs tie rod ends. Really on the outer on one side. So I bought just a cheap set of inner and outer tie rod ends. And I end up having to change the stator. It stopped charging, so I had to rob a stator off the other 500 with the blowed motor and put it on there. Now we got it charging. I relocated the voltage regulator up here because it goes in the front bumper, and I can show you on this one. And it's hard to get to because it mounts on this bracket of the front bumper, so when it's on there, it's hard to get down there past this top part and the plastics to go down in there. So I relocated it up here. I ended up putting a 5-wire voltage regulator on here, so I had to change the voltage regulator and the stator off the other 500. This one has 5 wires instead of 4. So if you change the stator and the voltage regulator, you can use both. Picked up a winch off of eBay. Guy had a Polaris front bumper with the winch. It's a Badlands 2,500 pound winch. Picked it up off of eBay for about 200 bucks. So that's a score. It works. So I'm gonna wire it up. I already had painted the other front bumper, so I'm probably gonna put the winch in the mount on this one because it's already painted, and or I could just put the whole thing on there, and then it'll have a winch on the front. Other than that, it runs really good. I mean, fires right up. I'm still kind of playing with these plastics, trying to get them back to close to what they look like. I gotta finish getting this off, the sticky sticker stuff. You can't really buy decals for this model anymore. You can buy them for the kind of later models, and the color is real limited. So I'm trying to go with that, but I don't know what they make these plastics out of, but when they sit out in the sun, they fade bad. I mean, you have to almost find a garage kept one that's not faded. I got a new pull rope for the pull cover, so I'll be taking that back off, pulling the pull rope in. I guess you can say day 44 with the Polaris 500. So got this thing together, still working on cosmetics, and I got this seat cover off of Amazon. I don't know if I showed that before. I might have. I just didn't have it unwrapped. But this is just a seat cover I picked up cheap off of there. And I'm gonna try and recover this seat. I can buy the whole seat for like $100 and something, but this thing was like on sale for like, I think $10 and something, maybe $13. So I said, well, I'll give it a shot. I can't do nothing but go wrong. Now this foam is kind of chewy, but I just want something just to cover the seat to make it look decent. So I got my electric staple gun out. The thing about this seat, now I have that one there, but it's for the wrong year. Thing about this seat is it's got 1,000,000 staples in it from where they did it at the factory. So I'm debating whether to try and get them all out or just staple around them. Maybe I can staple higher around the edges trying to get these staples out. They're rusty, and they are in there. I don't even think I can do it with a staple remover, but that would take probably a couple days. But if all fails, I can always just buy the complete seat. So I got this back rack. This one has the bar on it. Got it all painted up. The reason why I paint these, because if you're familiar with Polaris's, these racks are made out of fiberglass. And when they get old, when you rub against them with your arm or your hand, you get those fiberglass needles on your skin, and it itches. So that's why I just paint them with some tractor black paint to cover up the fiberglass, and that'll keep you from being itchy all the time. I did this one. This one's got a broke spot in it, and I wanted this back bar so when you put like your cooler or something on the back, it won't go flying off. I could have just took the bar off because it's got these bolts, but like I said, that one was cracked, so I'll just put the whole thing on there. So anyway, I'm going to try and get this seat cover off. It is hard as a rock. I think I'm just going to take a knife and just cut it off of there, and we'll stretch that seat cover out and see how it fits. And like I say, I can always buy a whole seat just ready to go on. Save a little money first, and hopefully that works, and if not, we'll move on. after getting all the staples out, I cleaned the base of the seat. I let this sit out in the sun for a while, tried to get some of these creases out, which is impossible. I don't have a steamer. So what I really did, I stapled a couple staples at the front and a couple at the back here. And I'm gonna try and just stretch it out as best I can to get it to lay down where I want it. Now, I've never tackled one this big before. I've done a dirt bike seat, but this thing's pretty big. So I did the front. Now that's gonna have some little waves in it because the cushion is in kind of chewy shape, but I ain't really looking for looks too much. I just want a seat cover. So I guess what I can do, let me see. I guess what I can do, what I hate about these seats, they have that swoop. Should we start at the front? Pull the front down first, and then work my way to the back. Probably the best. I let it lay out in the sun for a couple hours, and that didn't really do anything for the small creases. But I believe once it stretch out, we're trying to get it as smooth as possible. So I'm gonna work it, trying to get a staple in. Really need two hands. Trying to get a staple in. Right up in here. I don't staple my hand. I think once I pull this side, seat moving around. I'm just putting a couple of staples in it right now just to get it where I want it. Should have brought a table out here to work on. That looks somewhat smooth. Let me come over here and work. Just got those creases in it. I hate the way they fold them when they send them to you. They put all those folds in it. I have to get it stretched out, let it sit out in the sun, and I think all that'll go away. Let me come over here. Got a crease right there. It's got a bad crease right there. Try and get as tight as I can without really messing it up. That ain't gonna work. Let me take that staple out. Let's get a flat head. It's a lot easier when you got two hands because somebody can stretch while you staple. I'm trying to get this crease out. Right there, if I can just hold it like that. Then I can pull it this way. Gotta get that crease out. Shoot myself in the face, that would suck. Ah, the staple came out. Both of them. Hold it just like that. Whew. Ain't easy. Might be to some, but it's something I really don't get into too much. Is that a staple in there? Yep, sure is. So I had to end up changing seat base because the other one had some staple that's sticking down. There's a staple sticking down somewhere here. The other one had a crack spot on the side that I didn't notice. Right here, it's cracked. So I had to end up changing. I had another seat, so I just went ahead and used it instead. So hopefully I can hold that like that, pull this back. Those are just temporary staples. I should be able to pull this. Just got a crease there. Small crease though. I think I can work it out once I get it nailed down some more. Let's see if I can hit it. Hit it right there. Get one more. It's just some temporary staple holes until I get it to where I want it. Try and get as tight as I can get it. That right there has got a small crease, but that should work itself out once that leather or material gets vinyl rather gets a little warm. I am no upholsterer by any means. Oh, damn thing locked up. I was trying to hold it up. Start coming in there. Get on in there. Trying to hold it as tight as I can. My hand locked up for a minute. Trying to. That ain't too bad. It's got a little spot right there. It's kind of loose. I might can loosen the front and stretch it. It's right here where it's kind of loose, but that's where that crease is, like a small crease right there. I might can loosen the back. Or can I loosen the back and pull it this way? That might get that out of there. So I don't want to wrinkle this. And then that'll be smooth on the end. It's looking decent though. I mean, it is what it is. You're doing it yourself, saving money, so. It is what it is. I'm gonna flip it over and hit it with some more staples in a minute. Because what I hate is the cornering, the corner parts. That's what I hate. That's where you can mess up at. Have it looking all wrinkled like that there. Might just leave it like that. It's got a little pull right there. Let me go and get some staples in here like that. Pull this around here. Or should I take this back loose and try and pull it? Well, let me get a couple more staples over here. I think I'm going to take the back loose. You can kind of see what a sponge is, but I don't care. As long as it's got a seat. Because you can't buy these cushions no more, the cushion parts. You can only buy a whole complete seat or the cover. So what I'm going to do, it's got like a little, it's kind of loose here in the middle. I think if I pop these loose and pull it and re-staple it, I think that'll get the front tight. Hopefully these staples are long enough. I think I got some longer ones. Yeah, that brought it out. That tightened it up a little bit. If I can just hold it. I got some vice grip clamp things. Let me get those. I think I do. I know what I do got. Got these little things. I'm gonna put a little casing there for a minute. That was almost a bad idea. Almost a bad idea. That's what I say. Looks pretty decent. I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, it looks pretty decent to me. It's got this little crease right here. I think once I sit on it, that should work its way out of there. This one little corner right here, gotta work out. Like I say, corners suck. I don't care much about the corners, because I don't want to look at all wavy. That's what I'm talking about, wavy, right on the corners. Trying to hold it just like that. One spot right here. Just need to. Is there a staple over there? Oh, staple didn't go all the way in. So that's probably, I gotta work this front. It's probably gonna be the best it's gonna get right there. Check out the seat cover. Looking good. Like I said, it's got some little rumpy rumps right here, but that's because the cushion had some bad spots. I was gonna cut some out of another cushion, but it was rotted too. But this will do good for now. I mean, it cost me $15 and I got a seat cover and it'll last for a long time. So got this thing looking good. So what I got to do next is, like I said, try and get the plastics back as green as possible as I can. And also I got to hook up the winch. I got a brand new solenoid for it. I got to get it all wired into the in and out switch, and I already got the winch installed. So I just got to run the wires to the switch, and I'm gonna mount the solenoid in the back and hook it to the battery, and then have a winch. And other than, like I said, trying to get the plastics back as green as possible, this thing is ready for the woods. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that winch hooked up. We'll see how it works, and we'll be moving closer to taking it out and do some mudding. Alright, got the winch all wired up, and it does work. I had to figure out how to wire up this solenoid for the winch. Because this is an old style in and out switch, like for a worn winch, and I'm hooking it to this winch that actually had a remote to it, but I'm hooking it up like it was the old style winch without the remote. It's just got the old style in and out. So I went on the internet, found out how to wire it up, and let's test it and see if it works. I did kind of bump it for a little bit, but I wanted to really test it before I went too far with it and let you guys see it. So I pulled it out a little bit. Oh, it's on freewheel. That's out. That's in. Man, that motor sounds bad. The motor don't sound too hot, but it's working. I guess the true test to be when you get it hooked to a tree or another four-wheeler or something, and we'll see what happens then. But it's kind of grindy sounding a little bit, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, now I got to run the wiring through the four-wheeler, get this switch hooked up. On the other 500, it was hooked up here on the front rack, so I'm just going to hook it there and run the wiring to the battery, install the solenoid back here on the back of the frame, up under there somewhere, and that should be it. So at least we know the winch works. It's kind of loud. I don't know if you can oil those. I have to look it up. Is there some kind of maintenance you can do to them? Do they have? I don't see any, like where you can put some gear lube or something. But it may have just been sitting for a long time. It looks pretty good though. It's not all beat up like it's been really used a lot. The cable is not all rusty. So if it was on the four-wheeler, which it was, because I got the whole bracket, it must have been inside of a garage, because usually if you leave these winches outside, the cables, the hook, everything will be all rusted. So, well, I'm gonna go ahead and wire that up. Good thing my Amazon $13 solenoid work. It's just a 3-prong solenoid, and it has to be grounded. So if I take this off, you hear the solenoid disconnect. This wire here is supposed to be hooked to your 12-volt key wire. So it's got to be a key 12-volt source where you can turn on and off. I think on the other four-wheeler they had it hooked on a toggle switch where you can turn the voltage on and off, because there was a toggle switch up front with 2 long wires that ran back and went to the solenoid, and 1 wire went to the battery. So that's how they had it wired up. So we might have to put a toggle switch on. I would rather have it where you can turn the 12 volts on and off instead of having to turn the key on, and that'll run your battery down more, and it could put a load on your electrical system throughout the four-wheeler. So I'd rather just have it where it hooks directly to the battery. So I got a couple of toggle switches, probably wire that up. I think on the other four-wheeler it had a toggle switch right here. So we'll do something like that. But first of all, I need to get the wiring ran through the four-wheeler back to the battery and get that part over with. Then we can run the switch. So I'm gonna get back at it. Well, here they are, folks. The Polaris 500 Sportsman. Of course, you've seen all the work I did to mine, and had a new carb, went through the fuel system and everything, winch bumper, redid the seat and everything. I haven't rode it yet. This will be the first ride. Well, I just rode it around here. Then, of course, Travis's got the winch on his utility box. He did some engine work. The Polaris 500s, the older ones are bad about the cam going bad. So he put another cam in it, fixed the brakes. You got tires. So both of them have came a long way. So we're gonna go trail riding with them, see how they hold up. They look the same, but a little different years. Electronics are a little different, but so we're gonna hit the trails and kind of cooled off out here and see what they do. So he got the nice new winch. I got the nice used winch. All right.
There was a trail over there somewhere, but I can't remember where it's at. I went that way a while back, but I can't remember. But it looks kind of swampy right there. Well,
It opens up out there, so we just gotta go that way.
yeah. Unless you just want.
Go through here and go to the right?
I think so. If you want to.
Well, so far they have made it.
in the woods, no breakdowns. I hear somebody yelling. Sound like a Can-Am back there somewhere. But only thing you gotta do, guys, is just find you some old cheap four-wheelers. Y'all know I like Polarises. They're really easy to work on and the parts are cheap. So just find you some cheap old Polaris four-wheelers and get out, ride them. You know, you ain't got that much money in them unless you gotta rebuild the engine. And have you some cool rides. So we're gonna keep riding and cooled off. Feels kind of good. And see what other stuff we can get into. Follow them or go that way? Putting yours in four-wheel drive? Whoa! You gotta hit it dead on. Suck. I hit it too slow. It's swampy. I hit it too slow. I bet you that won't happen again.
I was gonna go in over there, towards the trees. That's what I was gonna do.
Get the trap your witch.
Yeah, right. You know, hook that around something.
What about the trailer ball?
Try it, but it might pop off the top of it.
Alright. I'm gonna hit it wide open this time.
There's two more guys coming.
It's really messed up right there. Going through here, you're gonna have to hit it wide open. gonna have to hit it. Hit it. Hard, now. There you go. No, I didn't like mine, didn't like it either.
It died like twice a second ago over there.
Got water in it. I might be able to go back.
Yeah. I'll hold the button if we...
We need a workout today. Tire was like that.
That scared me. Bye!
I was gonna dive off and be like,
Handlebars are gonna be wrapped around the back of that thing. Well, I went up and I was like, yeah, well, eased up through there. Could be a left up here
whoa! Whoa! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Boy, that don't look good at all. That just look like somebody gonna get stuck.
It's all fucked.
It's all messed up.
You can try that, maybe.
Huh?
Try that.
Me? Hell no. Not even thinking about it. Mike can go that real well. Can't go that way. You gonna try it? Yeah. I doubt it's gonna make it.
Judging by the size of this right here, and the water's probably even worse.
No.
Like the slower, you know what I mean?
Your best better be going that way.
Dropping off the 2-foot drop off, not flip over.
Back down it. I wonder is it a trail that goes around there?
Yeah, there is one right there, but I don't know if it's gonna work.
They got some sketchy stuff around here. Woo! Whoa, shit. Oh, why it's jumping out of gear? Ah. All right, guys, so we've been out here playing in the mud, and as you can see, the 500s will get through it, but you gotta hit it to get through the mud. They're pretty fun four-wheelers, so you can buy them cheap, fix them up like I said, and take them out and give them hell, and don't have that much money in them. Not like your newer four-wheelers today. I mean, everything for them is cheap. Amazon, eBay, Marketplace. So we got stuck. Yeah, we buried them, but they still together and still running. So that's gonna be it. We're gonna go back here and see what these other guys are doing. Y'all like, share, subscribe. As always, leave a comment. Go out and get y'all some old four-wheelers and fix them up. Take them out in the woods. Let me know how it turned out. All right.